Hello, everyone, and welcome to ProblemSolvHer Podcast.
Hello.
We're not up to you yet. Hi, I'm your host, Chloe.
And I'm Dagmar.
And we have an incredible guest this evening, Jeanine Ward in the house of Manhattan, New York. Jeanine, we're so happy to have you. It's a pleasure. And we can't wait to dive in with you this evening. I'm just going to give a little bit of your praises and background. Jeanine Ward and I might have gone to college together. She's a little older than me. I was a freshman when she was a senior. And we were studying communications together and entertainment. And Jeanine started in TV production, and she worked on a very famous show in the late 90s into the early 2000s called The Montel Williams Show. And she had several jobs there, and she worked her way as really kind of business development and helping to manage Montel as a whole, which is amazing. She would wake up in the middle of the night and teleport and go to Chile and learn how to ski and snowboard and all these incredible things. And now she is working with, for almost a decade, a very well-known philanthropic family. And we just want to hear from you, your experiences working in such a high-powered, ultra high net worth family who give back to the community and to the causes they believe in, and how you've helped shape that over the years, and what it's like to manage such a important family. And we want to start with, and I'll let you take over, how your incredible parents met and how your father was a priest and your mom was a nun. So I'm going to leave it to you.
Okay.
My
parents stayed in high school, and my dad went into the military, the Marines, and my mom became a nun. Behind his back, he wanted to come back and get married. So she bounced. Yeah, she bounced. So he came back, and then he called my mom, and he's like, "What do you think I should do?" And she didn't really want him to date anyone else. She's like, "Why don't you become like a brother or a priest?" So he did. And then they were in for 15 years. They left, and then they had the devil's spawn and the other devil's spawn.
15 years? It was that long until they finally wrote letters and decided to leave?
Yeah. I think he came up to visit her, and they wouldn't let him in. Like, they were like, no, like they knew that, maybe they would get back. So, yes.
Wow, that's a story. So they met pretty young and got separated, and then for 15 years consciously followed their faith before their love got the strongest, and then they got together. That's a long time, 15 years.
Yes.
Wow.
Then they were only married for 20 years because my dad passed away when I was 18. But he was happy. He was happy that he got to get with her again.
Yeah, it's a true love. It's like a Romeo and Juliet. It's a true love story. And your mom had you. I mean, now today women are having babies in their 40s and late 40s, even 50. But at that time, she had you when she was 41, right?
Or she was 38, but it said geriatric pregnancy on the door. It was like she couldn't. When I was born, she didn't see me for 3 days. I'm like, they were cutting off my horns for 3 days. That's why. That's why I have detachment issues.
I told you she was funny. I love that. Why don't you start to tell us a little bit about the incredible story, how you were working with someone previous, and how you ran into Garrett, and how you took initiative and confidence and this really awesome inner strength, and how you had this incredible job for the last decade.
So came in and they asked the receptionist, they're like, "Do you know anybody who's available, to be to work for us?" And she's like, "I know there's a girl down the hall who's really good, and she works for someone who's pretty terrible." So she called me while they're walking down the hall, and she's like, "These people are coming down. They're really good. You gotta have good." I'm like, "I'm available." And they're like, "Excuse me?" I'm like, "Not really, but maybe." And they're like, "Come on in and talk to us." And they hired me that day.
That's awesome.
I know. And they didn't really, she's like, they don't trust people, that they're very serious. I'm like, I got this.
And you did 10 years later.
Yeah, it's 15 years.
Wait, it's been that long, buddy?
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, how is that possible? I'm only 35. But yeah.
Like me. She thinks she's still 35.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah.
That's amazing. And how has it changed in the last 15 years? Because a lot's changed in the world and the way that technology works and all of the causes that they believe in. What are the shifts that's happened in the last decade and a half of being with them?
I think I become I'm a confident now. They trust me. They didn't really trust anybody. Now it's like, you take care of it. You got this. I have to think ahead. You have to always think ahead, like prepare,
Mhm.
like what are they going to want? What are they going to need? And yeah, I'm like part of the family. Like they treat me wonderfully. The wife is like a powerhouse. So there's not like male control. She's like the head, head honcho.
Mm.
But they give to like tons of charities, and they give to politicians, but they don't give to like the politicians you probably heard of. It's the new and upcoming people, minorities, a lot of females.
Mm.
And they do Zooms with them beforehand to see if they're on the same page.
Oh,
A lot of them have won. I mean, there's a limit to what you can give, but they always give the maximum, and they want, the world to be a better place for women.
yeah.
I'm curious how, before you had like the job with the one where you were not respected and treated well, and now into 15 years with your new business family, and you love them, and it seems like they love you. How is your mindset today? How did this change you as a person? And
when someone treats you like you're much less than, like, for example, I worked for this woman. She wanted sushi one day. I ordered it from a nice place, not, like a nice place. So I gave it to her, and she's like, I would never eat this. She's like, what are you thinking? She's like, and she was so rude and condescending. And then she threw it in the garbage, and she goes, that could be your lunch. And I was like, I hate you. Another time a fax came in, and she was on the phone, and she's like, can you give me the fax? And it was coming so fast. It was like a cheap old fax. It was like flying on the floor. So I put it together and I handed it to her, but like one of the pages was wrong, like, because she needed it right now. She threw it at me, and it went all over the room. And she's like, this is unacceptable. I'm like, you nuts? Yeah. So yeah, to be with these people who are like billionaires compared to what she was, that treat everyone with respect and kindness. It gives you confidence. It makes you more self-assured. You feel like you belong there, that you work hard and you deserve to be there. Yeah.
That's interesting that you said that the woman who was a socialite and wanted to be like this lifestyle, like the family that you're actually working for now,
yes,
treated you so disrespectfully, but the family that is in the ultra high net worth category, so to speak, gives you so much respect and love, and you feel like you're a part of the family, and they give you full autonomy, and you feel really comfortable working for them. It's interesting how
it's old money versus new money, I think.
Interesting. Right? Yeah.
I mean, I've been with Chloe before. They lend me. I can take their car anytime I want. And they have fancy cars. And I mean, it's nerve wracking, but now it's been a long time. But they did that pretty early on. They're like, we trust you.
But you don't drive that much anymore. Leave the driving up to me, okay?
I need a chauffeur, sweetie.
I love that.
Dagmar's like, okay.
No, Dagmar, she has a strong personality too, but she's just listening and getting to know you.
I'm not comfortable yet in the topic.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about it. So right now I just let the energy touch me.
Yes.
And I'm connecting with you on an energy level with you, not with your job. So right now, so I'm listening to you. And when I have an aspect I think will be really good to know for our listeners, because you're unbelievable happy within.
Oh,
and
she is always.
Yeah.
Happy.
Thank you.
And I was wondering, as I was listening to you, if it comes from because you're treated as a human with
Yes.
and very well from your job. Is that your job? Bringing that more out in you. I'm pretty sure you have that within you, right? But we all have different things within you, but then the environment shapes it, allowed to bring it out or not. So I just found it amazing how happy you are, because I can imagine your job is pretty stressful.
Yes, it is. But you know what? What I do is I'm the type of person where I write everything down that needs to get done, and then I cross it off the list. And like sometimes I'll wake up in the morning, I'm like, I gotta get this done, and I get nervous and I have like anxiety, and then I'm like, but I can do it. I just gotta say to myself, you got this. You've done it for years. Why are you stressing yourself out? And then I can relax.
Positive affirmations. You were talking about
First
that earlier.
awareness.
Yeah.
She's a very aware person. I think part of just from knowing Jeanine, and correct me if I'm wrong, JJ, your happiness and your positive attitude, which you've had for over, I don't want to say how long I've known you.
30 years.
Stop.
We met at the hospital in the NICU.
Hello, we're 37. Calm down. Your math doesn't add up. It's because your mother, because she was a nun, she literally is a saint.
Yeah.
And she's so positive. She is always in, and your father, although you had 18 years with him, you had 18 incredible years with him. And he was so positive. You came from Anne Macy, your grandmother.
Yes.
And you had all these strong women around you growing up.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I think that's part of why you're so happy.
Well, my great aunt, my grandmother Maisie, had two sisters that never got married, spinsters like me. And they were like the happiest little sisters. They lived together. They had dogs, always smiling. I don't know.
The statistics say, and this has been said for years now, that single women that never get married and have children live the longest. I'm just saying. So the three of us,
we're going to be 102.
But you're a cat mom and a dog mom. I'm a dog mom, and Dagmar is a cat mom.
I love animals. They bring such joy. I mean, okay, so I've had a lot of people die in my family, aunt, uncles and stuff, and I'm sad. When your animal dies, you're like devastated. Right?
You're an amazing storyteller. And I think that a lot of people resonate through stories some of the time, right?
I think it will help others, because if you think about it, you work for a well-known family, and I'm pretty sure there are others who perhaps believe that gives them the value, the well-known value, and you're so down to earth, and you're so loving, and you're not hesitant to be yourself and be authentic.
Thank you.
I can see how that inspires other women, that they don't feel they have to be somebody else when they work for somebody who's in public, well-known, that they have to fit in, that it's really more to find the one who respects you.
Yeah.
Who treats you well, not just who pays you, but then like 24/7, you don't have your own life anymore. And you just have to fit to somebody else's behavior or attitude.
Absolutely. And I also think if someone's kind to you, you'll be kind to everybody else. Like if someone makes a mistake, they're like, oh my God, I made a mistake. I'm so sorry. I'm like, don't worry about it. These things happen. I never am like, I needed this right now. And I'll say to my boss, like, something came up. I got it. I never throw them under the bus like they made a mistake, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no one's ever going to throw me under the bus, because I've never thrown anyone under the bus, ever. Even if they make a mistake, I'll sometimes be like, oh, I missed that, or it was my fault. Because it's just, I don't know. It's karma.
Karma, and you're not scared to fail. I mean, and I think in my past life, I was scared to fail, and that holds you back, because then you never take a calculated risk, right? You stay where you are because it's safe and you're comfortable. You know what it is, but then you don't grow.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and like, look at you. If you would not have the confidence to leave and you would have stayed, perhaps you still would make good money, but you would be mistreated, miserable. And from what I experienced in my life, over time, it really affects the soul.
Yes.
And it can feel like dying within, that you give up more and more and more of yourself and you barely exist at the end.
It's funny because
appreciated.
when they came over and said, I said, I'm available. And they said, can you start? I'm like, well, I'm working for this woman. They're like, are you happy? I'm like, no. They're like, leave, then leave. I did give her 2 weeks notice. They're like, don't even give her 2 weeks notice. I'm like, I just don't feel comfortable. But I like the inside of me was like, I committed to working for her. I can't leave. And they were like, you need to leave if you're unhappy and she's not kind to you. I'm like, all right. And then luckily they were moving into the building where she was at, and she was moving out in 2 weeks. So she didn't even know that. Yes, I didn't even have to tell her that I was working for them.
Synergistically.
Woo!
But also you took a leap of faith in a sense, right? Because you said, she's not treating me good, but I'm making money. I'm living in Manhattan. It's expensive to be here. Yeah. But if you didn't walk down the hallway and say, hey, I'm available, and didn't have that inner confidence and strength,
yeah,
you don't know what path you would have taken.
Oh my gosh, I know. I probably would still be working for her, like in hell.
Yeah, or the health issues, what would appear through that.
Yeah. Yeah, like I feel, I mean, at first I was very intimidated by the Kirks. Well, but now it's like, hey, how are you? Oh yeah, what did you do this weekend? Oh, how the cats, and like, it's like, comfortable. It feels like not really family, but like very relaxed and myself.
Most people don't get to experience that in a job, where they're working directly with the family and in their home and in their private life.
Yes.
And being a part of their entire family, because I know you're close with their daughters as well.
Yes.
And they know who your friends are. They know your mom. Like you said, they allow you to use your car and all their amenities because they trust you. But it's interesting because a lot of younger women that want to work in entertainment, in film, in TV, work with these ultra high net worth families because they know they will have access to certain things. They're scared to try to go for a job like that. I mean, when you did that, you were still in your 30s. Yeah. So what would you tell young women today that are kind of trying to go in that same direction, how to be bold like you were, and what they should try to do to achieve those goals?
If you don't think you can do it, just fake it till you make it. Also, what's the other thing? Imposter syndrome, where you're like, how do I have this job? I don't think I can do this. Like Kim Kardashian says she has imposter syndrome, even now. Like, how am I this successful? You have to say to yourself, like, you have to believe in yourself. Say, I got this. Let me at least give it a try. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But 90% of the time, if you're ready, you're gonna do great.
And what happens if she does not believe in that? She wants the job but does not believe in it. How could this be changed?
Get a mentor. Ask your parents or your friends' parents. Do you know someone who could help coach me or help me with things so I feel like when I get into the job I can do it? A lot of stuff is Google now too. Like at work, like I have to fix the computers. I'm not very good at that. I Google it. I try, and then and then when I'm about to give up, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go take a walk or something. I come back and I'm like, and it hits me. I'm like, I can do this. And then it usually works. It's shocking. I just got a 83-inch TV.
Excuse me, fancy pants.
It's crazy. But here it is.
83. It's too far to tell, but okay. Wow.
So, but it's very complicated, not hanging it, but then you have to get the new remotes and
setting it. Forget it.
I couldn't figure out the volume. I couldn't figure out anything. I was Googling. I'm like, I'm not going to call Verizon and Fios. I was here for and now after 3 days, I know how to do everything. I was like, why can't I get my HBO? I can do the apps, but I couldn't find out where my channels were. I figured it out. And then you have such a sense of, I'm not trying to brag, but you're like, yes, like, I don't need a man. I don't need I got this. Little things like that,
empowered yourself to do it. You figured it out.
Yeah, I was like at the point of like, I'm just gonna give up, and then I'm like, no, like I'm not gonna find these things. Yeah,
the small wins were really good.
The small wins.
It's really not a small win. So, like, there's a solution for everything, right? And a lot of times the solution is not easy, but whenever we accomplish something, then the self-insurance and self-esteem grows with the little ones.
That's it.
When you have to do something bigger, so more you beef up the level of little ones, bigger ones, it prepares you for the
bigger picture. Yeah, that's true.
One other thing I would say is sometimes like I have to do something for work and I'm like, I don't know how to do this, or I'm not going to be able to. Don't put it off. Just say, let me just dive in, figure it out. And then once you figure it out, you're like, oh my God. It's not like you think you're like the smartest person in the world, but you're like, I can do that. I can do anything.
It's not what you just said, and that's my experience too. It's not about being smart enough. It's about figuring it out.
Yes.
You don't have to
solve her.
Figuring out the solution. Thanks for the plug, JJ.
Absolutely.
You're so right. And you have a few nieces, one who's in college, right?
She's going to be going.
She's going to college, right? And she's very confident at a young age, which I love about that for her. She's beautiful and she's confident and independent. Now, where would you say she got that from? Because we were talking about this earlier with Amanda as, a higher education facilitator, that a lot of these young girls today don't have the confidence. They don't have the independence. All they care about is social media and followers, and they kind of get lost in all of that. Where do you think Lil has this confidence and this inner strength at such a young age?
I mean, it's hard to say. Like, people are mean to her in school, girls, they say things and she's like, whatever. And I'm like, that doesn't bother you? She's like, absolutely not. Okay, Eleanor Roosevelt said, as a woman, you have to have the skin of an armadillo.
Facts.
That's one of my favorite quotes. It's hard, but yes, you do with other women, with men. Like, you just have to let it bounce right off of you. Otherwise, it could kill you and it could ruin your life.
Only the strong survive. It's really, it's the truth.
In nature, I see that every day.
Yeah. Only the strong will survive.
Like for humanity, like nature without a question. Nature is a question between life and death, right?
100%.
For the strongest. And I think for humanity is, if you have a goal, you will not get to the goal when you dream about it, or when you think about it, or when you plan it. You have to deploy.
You have to do it.
You have to put yourself out there and be willing to be seen and heard to reach the goal.
I have one last thing to say.
That's
not the last.
Oh, in this one. But
Jeanine, you're not at a convention where the next speaker is coming on. I have one last thing to say.
My next Zoom is going on in 10 minutes. I think that one thing for myself is, I think I always say, I know my truth. Like, if someone's like, you're doing this because of this, and I'm like, I know my truth. That was not my intention at all. You're reading or you're projecting on me. But you can't say that unless you actually do know your truth. Like, if you're trying to hurt somebody's feelings and you're like, I know my truth, I wouldn't do that, and you actually were trying to, every time it's like you're misconstruing what I'm thinking or how I'm saying it, and that communication really helps. And
what's your favorite line? Say what you
mean what you say.
It's so powerful.
Yeah.
Say what you mean and mean what you say.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I also like champagne for my real friends, real pain for my sham friends.
She's amazing.
That's 20 an hour.
What would you say, because your mom, God bless her, she really is a unicorn. She's a very unique woman, because she has a lot of wisdom over the years. Hi, June Buggy.
Yeah.
What would you say is the best advice she's ever given you? I know she's given a lot of wisdom, but what's really stood out for you over the years?
Oh God, don't be small.
Mm.
Be kind. No, you don't know what anyone else is going through. Always remain calm. Don't ever rage at anybody or yell at anybody. Take a breath. Whew, it was hard, but
Someone should never yell at anybody. It's like, if we all had that chip where we could just turn it off and freeze and then start over again.
If someone's angry and yelling at you, she's like, they're obviously going through something and it has nothing to do with you.
Well, not always. If someone is,
Yeah,
but because we do have to take some responsibility if we're in that. But a lot of times you're right. It's you're not mad for the reasons you think you are.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it's like having a little saint like that as a mom was very hard growing up.
What do you do when somebody yells at you?
Oh God, I rarely yell back. I'm sort of like, why would you be yelling at me? Like, I think there's something wrong with the other person. Maybe that's a problem. Maybe I need to work on that myself. But most of the time, I'm like, I don't think I did anything that bad. I'm not yelling at you.
If that works for you, that works for you.
Yeah. I'm pretty chill. I'm pretty. When my bosses, the bosses I've had for 15 years said, they asked me what my biggest personality is. I said, I'm pretty even Steven. Like, I'm pretty much the same every day. I'm not moody. Chloe might disagree, but at work, I'm just like this.
No, you're not moody, but you've changed over the years. Like when we first, we were wild. We were living in New York City, running around, yelling at everyone, thinking we knew everything. It's nice to see that, there's self-growth as you get older, because some people don't change. They stay exactly who they are. They don't reflect. They don't evolve. But you are very even, Steven. You're extremely loyal. You're not the best at communication, but we've talked about that. That's okay.
I think when I communicate all day at work, I'm like, oh God, I just want to go home and watch TV all night.
She answers the phone only twice a year. I only call her a few times a year. It's okay. Amanda's the same way. But you have a really good heart, and you're very loyal and genuine and a really, really good friend. And
if you ever texted me or called me and said, I need something.
Oh, yeah, right now, I'm on a plane and go.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. So this is something that we haven't talked about with the other women because they're all married. But since we aren't, the three of us aren't, I think this would be nice for other women that are in the same position as us, that have inner peace and then love themselves, and they're not currently married, and they don't have human children, because we have other children, right, or animals, and talk a little bit about you being, because you and I have discussed this, being okay with that and enjoying your independence, and you can have an amazing life. You don't have to be married as a woman. You can find fulfillment in other ways. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I mean, I think after like 35, I was like, you know what? If I get married, I get married. If you don't make my life so much better, you're not going to interfere with my peace or tell me what I can buy or not buy. Growing up, I remember we would go shopping, my mom and my grandma and I, and we get home and they like leave it in the trunk. Because my grandfather and my father was in the time, and they probably like paid for it. And then they'd like cut off the tag. Like in the middle of the night, we'd go get the bag, cut off the tags, and then my dad would be like, "Is that a new sweater?" I'm like, "I've had that for years." And I was like, "I'm never, ever gonna have a man tell me what I can and cannot do with my money." That's why I was like, "I'm gonna earn my money."
You thought that,
like, yeah, a little controlling, and also don't tell like. What do you mean? Like, we can't buy whatever we want? Well, weren't rich or anything, so maybe that was why. But I always got everything, but it was always like a sneaky little ordeal.
That's so interesting. So you feel like one of the reasons you're okay with being single is that you have your independence and your freedom. Yeah. And that's more to you than being in an unhappy marriage.
Yes. I don't want to watch Creed 2 tonight. I want to watch like Love Island or some like girly shit, you know?
We love you, Michael B. Jordan. No disrespect to Creed 2.
You're hot. I'd like a poster of you, but I don't really feel like watching.
I put a poster on the wall, but I'd rather watch Love Island as well.
And eat whatever I want. not have to be like, what do you want to get for dinner?
Right. It is nice though having our independence, isn't it? Like she said. I mean, sometimes maybe it would be nice to come home to see somebody, but it is nice to eat what you want when you want, watch what you want, don't want to watch what you want, not have to answer to somebody.
I can have a boy toy. I mean, bye.
I think about it differently. I think about it like what Jeanine said, but I think about the same of friendship, no matter if it's just a partner. If I meet a person and I love this person, it makes me so happy and makes me a better person and makes me
100%
makes me fulfilled. I want to be closer. But if not, I don't want to have this human in my life. So it's really more about, do they make my life better or not?
Absolutely. But
what's your sign, Dagmar?
Pardon me?
Barb's birthday, she's a Gemini, June 7th.
Oh, I love the Geminis.
She does. She gets a lot. She's very close with my parents. Janine's big on signs, huge.
Geminis are great. I love Geminis.
Geminis are great. They have a lot of personalities, but they're amazing. I think that it's important as women, right? No matter what age you are, to be happy in your own skin.
Yeah.
And to love yourself, whether you're feeling good or you're feeling bad that day. Amanda was on earlier and she said, and I loved it. We said, and we're going to ask you this in a minute. Describe your best and worst days in 5 words. And she gave them all and she said, but I could feel all those things in the same day, right? Yeah. Which I thought was incredible because I can get off this right now and say to Dagmar, oh God, I did not look good on the camera. The glare in the glasses, my face looks like a tire. And then we could go in the mirror in the bathroom and be like, well, look amazing. I mean, women are, right? But we have to love ourselves and we have to believe in ourselves. I think it's so important for our listeners and as we grow as a podcast to constantly tell women to give yourself grace, to believe in yourself, to find that inner strength. It's within all of us. Just pull it out. Go deep inside you and literally put your hands out there wherever and just pull her out. She's there.
Like Beyonce has Sasha Fierce as her other self.
Right.
I'm going to have a second self too.
Okay. You're going to be like
Jessica Walsh.
Jessica Walsh instead of Jeanine Ward. I like it.
Like that's going to be my fierce self.
That's going to be your alter ego. I love it. Amazing.
Do you want me to tell you my words or no? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dagmar. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. We want to hear what.
So I thought it was my.
She wrote it down. I love her.
My best self on my worst day. What I try to do, I try to be optimistic, determined, multitask, funny always, sarcasm. I mean, if you're just funny, like, wow, this is a really great day. When you're like having like it's all people laugh and then you kind of laugh.
100%.
And then on my worst day, I'm tired, overwhelmed, and that was it.
Tired, overwhelmed.
She's like,
yeah, I think that's all 5. Like that's 5 things. Freaking tired.
Heaviness.
Anxiety.
What do you do? What do you do?
Said tired and overwhelmed, by the way.
What do you do when you have these worst days and feel tired and overwhelmed? How do you get over them? Quick.
I call someone or no, not really. I watch TV. I do the New York Times crossword for my anxiety. I do spelling bee. I like play games to get my mind off of it, and then it gets kind of clear. But no, I it's always let me solve this problem so it's not giving me anxiety.
So no procrastinator, right? Procrastinator.
She's not a procrastinator. She gets things done. She wants it out of the way.
Yeah, because I think the worst part is they say there's a thing called bed rotting where you just get in bed and you're like, I can't get up. I can't do this stuff. I am just like, let me knock this out and then I can get on with my day and be okay. Otherwise, it's in my brain.
That
my brain's very...
I have to do this. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to do it. I'm almost doing it. I've done it. Yeah.
I try to just like, I do that for a little while and then I'm like, I'm having such anxiety. Let me just get it done. And then after you're like, why was I so worried? It was not that hard.
We always think that it's the fear within us that, gets us. And then once it's over, it's like the dream. I still have the dream that I didn't graduate college because I forgot to go to a class. And a lot of experts and psychologists say that you can have that dream your whole life.
Oh, I have those all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to get somewhere and get a key or something, and everyone's waiting for me, and I can't get there. Oh, I have them a lot. It's like I've got to get to my locker in school, and then I'm like, in my mind, even while I'm asleep, I'm like, I know how old I am. I'm not in high school, but I still have to turn in that paper, and then I can't. Something's missing. You get to one room and you get one thing, but then you can't get oh my! That's an anxiety dream.
Without a question.
Yeah.
What's the biggest problem you had to deal with in life? Like personal, business?
I would say people dying, people sick, and nothing else matters.
Yeah.
I can't even think of any, I can't even think of another problem. Those are the things. So my mom, she's here. She's had stage 4 cancer for 15 years.
15 years.
Stage 4.
Yeah. So the anxiety from the day one till now, which is crazy that she's had a lot of surgeries and chemo. She's doing pretty great. Just the thought of it all the time, it's in the back of your mind all the time. It sadness, but I mean, now I wish I could tell my younger self it's going to be okay.
And clearly, 15 years, it will be okay.
Yeah.
Right?
She's going to be 89.
The data proved it.
Yeah.
If you can have that stage 4 for 15 years, she will have another 15.
It's also her spirit and the belief, and her attitude is unbelievable.
She's like, I'm going to be fine.
Yeah.
Always. But to give you, I used to throw up every time we would go to the doctor. I would go in the bathroom and just start throwing up. That's like what happens to me when I'm really upset. And the doctor was like, I was throwing up in his waste paper basket. He's like, are you okay? I'm like, I think I'm taking on all the anxiety. Because she was like, all right. She went for her last major surgery. Yeah. So the doctor came in. He's like, hi, June. He's like, how are you feeling? She's like, I'm ready to go. He started laughing.
I would be like, give me medication, knock me out, put me in another planet. I can't handle it.
She wasn't on anything. He's like, how are you feeling? Do you have any questions? She's like, I'm ready to go. I trust you. He's like, he said to me, no one is everyone's nervous. She was like, ready to go.
Imagine that attitude. Please transfer, bottle that up, Jeanine, and UPS tomorrow morning.
I don't understand it.
But I can see how this creates an inner peace in you.
Yeah.
To go with what life gives you.
Yeah.
And just make the best out of it. And that's amazing for 15 years that she had stage 4.
Insane.
Which is unheard of. It's a very unique situation. Yeah.
I think people make the best. What is it? Do you know that saying?
You make the best of the worst of it.
No, people make the best.
I messed that up.
The people that make the best of things are the people. Okay, I have to think about it.
What do you want to say?
It's basically the people. Things work out best for the people who make the best of the way things worked out.
Yeah,
right. They take the worst of a situation and they make the best out of it.
Yeah, whatever comes your way, if you make the best out of it, you're going to be happy. Who knew I had all these quotes?
Misquotes over there, Eleanor Roosevelt and whatnot.
I like the armadillo one.
That is a great quote. No, I think it's really important as we have on all these strong women, right? To give a voice to all the women. It doesn't matter how old you are.
Yeah.
To be able to appreciate and understand these types of dialogues that we're having.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't have a mentor. They might not have family around. They might be in situations where they're feeling really down and they need just a little bit of hope, right? Like sometimes people turn on the radio and a song can literally affect your life. So hopefully we're doing that here by having people like you on and explaining your story, and to have that situation with your mom, and thank God she's fabulous and she's there and she's living with you, which is extremely commendable and beautiful on its own, that your 89-year-old mother is living with you in Manhattan and living it up. That part's amazing.
She's easy.
She is very easy.
Yeah.
You, on the other hand, no, I'm just kidding.
I could be a little high maintenance myself. In weird ways.
All the amazing women we interviewed so far, and it's the same: live your life. Don't wait for something to happen to you, like a new
Take
job,
action.
a partner, friends, right? A child. Live your life. And I can see from all the amazing women, Chloe, connected. It's all, no matter what life throws at you, you live your life.
Go big or go home.
So true. I love that one. But think, it's interesting. Now that you're saying these quotes, the companies around the world that are the top 10 companies, let's just say, right? Apple, the Bite of the Macintosh. I love this one because I think it inspires anyone. Nike, swoosh, just do it. Saying that gives inspiration to everybody. It's if you think you can be an athlete, you might want to get into sports, you want to be the number one tennis player in the world, the basketball guy, Nike, just do it. I mean, that says so much. Do it.
Be bold. Just go for it.
Yeah.
Oh, another one. You miss all the opportunities that you didn't, right? It's another one. You miss all the opportunities that you didn't try.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they say the place where the most ideas are is in the graveyard.
Okay.
We could do a little quote podcast where we would all come on with our quotes for an hour.
Let's go hang in the graveyards and drink some wine and wait for the ideas to flow.
I like it.
Well, they're dying in the graveyard.
Yeah.
They're dying.
No, meaning that they didn't try, right? So
yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm like waiting for the spirits to come. Okay, I missed that. That flew over my head. I'm glad you got it, JJ. That's so funny.
No, because at the end, every one of all the amazing women, they found their inner core, followed their inner core, no matter what society told them what they should do or could do, or the doctors told them, or the companies told them, or like how you deal with your situation. You were willing to stay with all your strong personality. You were willing to stay because from an ethical perspective, you said you would work for her. So you were willing to stay.
Yeah.
And you left because somebody who respected you more and wanted to good for you encouraged you to leave.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah. And I think, look where you are today, right?
Doing pretty good.
And at the end, you had to believe in something higher, and you have to believe in that you're worth leaving and taking on this job. So it took courage. Now you settle, right? Now after 15 years, I'm pretty sure the situation. It's just getting it done and not feeling insecure or scared about it. But it takes bravery to follow your intuition and follow your gut and do what you're meant to be or meant to do. Or like your parents, look at your parents. I mean, after 15 years being a nun and a monk.
My dad was like, let's go. And she's like, all right.
I love it. A priest. Imagine being a monk. I love that. Let's go to Tibet and see the monks. That's true. To have that loyalty that they had to each other. I know you said they wrote letters to each other for years to stay, and because the faith. I'm I'm a daughter of God. I'm a son of God. I have to be here to be here. And their love for each other was so strong that they couldn't stay away, that they left because of that, because they had to be together.
And I'm pretty sure like the other nuns wanted to hold her back.
Oh, I'm
and the
sure.
other priests or the church, whatever, and they got judged for what they felt because of their environment, right? And they had to trust each other, same as Jeanine, and they had to trust that the new situation would be a better one for her.
Absolutely.
So
I will have to say though, as a kid, I was a total tomboy. I was like playing football with the boys after school. So when you're friends with guys, like, I don't know, that gives you some sort of confidence too. They're like, do you want to play like tag football? And I'm like 4th grade. I'm like, yeah. So I remember at my communion, my like Catholic communion, my grandmother got me this frilly like bridal dress with like a veil. I felt so uncomfortable. I'm like, this is awful. So we got home and like all our family was coming over. I went upstairs and I put on a black Darth Vader t-shirt with jeans and like dirty sneakers and put my hair in like 2 ponytails. And my grandma's like, oh my God, the family's coming over. I'm like, this is who I am. And the pictures are like, they like ripped up the pictures because I'm like, I was like, I don't think I'm ever getting married. This dress is like a nightmare.
that is funny.
She is funny.
That is funny.
But I think also, and again, we can evolve, but as children, if we're strong like that in our convictions, like she literally went home, ripped the dress off, put on Darth Vader, a very dark rock band.
Gangster.
It's not like she put on Madonna or like, you know, I'm going back in time here, or like Tiffany, remember all those bands, everybody? You know, Mary J. Blige or something. I think that when you are so strong in your beliefs when you're that young, most likely I would like to think that people grow up and they become somewhat successful because they knew at a young age who the fuck they were. Excuse me.
I wouldn't say that.
I would. Why not?
I was 8. I was like, don't put me in a box.
Because life can break you, and between it being a child and then later being a young adult or adult, if you fit into the society, you still can have it within, but you can hide it.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you feel so strongly about something at such a young age of who you are as an independent person, you grow up with that confidence. You don't lose that, and all of a sudden it comes back out of nowhere. I feel like it's always there. You always have it.
Even if you stuffed it down for a while, at some point it's going to pop out.
It's still going to be there. People that I know, let's say from growing up as like a child, that like in school were kind of quiet, didn't really play sports a lot. And I see them on Facebook and Instagram now. I look at them. I'm like, yep, exactly what I thought they would be. Still kind of quiet, a little bit nerdy, which is not a bad thing at all, right? They're exactly who they were when I saw them in 7th or 8th grade. Their personalities haven't really changed. The career path they've taken made sense to me. Like, you know, when they do the yearbook and they say, most likely to succeed.
Yes.
I won funniest and had coolest car because my mom gave me the car. But I mean, I'm sorry, am I still not funny? You won funniest.
I got funniest in class clown.
Oh, I got class clown too. Class clown is funniest, buddy.
My bosses would not find that funny. I'm like, I won most likely to succeed. No.
I love it. I love it. We love having these big personalities on and strong people because this is
I was nervous. I don't like the public speak, Dagmar, but I mean, I knew Chloe would be on, and you're very cool and easygoing. So I get there. I'm a nervous person in a lot of ways, but not today. Not today, pal.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad you did it. We're grateful that you came
It was
on.
so fun.
Yeah. You know what? It is fun, and that's really it should be fun to find solutions, right?
Yeah.
It should not be a struggle because you're already in the problem struggling. It shouldn't be a struggle to find solutions.
Yes.
It should be, and should is a bad word, but the focus is finding solutions which are better where you are right now.
Yeah.
Having fun and joy doing it and not seeing it as a hardship, because then the solution becomes a hardship.
Yeah.
And I think that where you are a beautiful example, what you made out of your life and who you are today, and that you still were vulnerable enough to share. You still have it sometimes where you feel overwhelmed with everything. And you still today, after 15 years, still telling yourself, I can do that. So it's a daily reassurance and a daily positive effort.
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Cheerleader. We have to be our own cheerleaders in our own corner sometimes.
Yeah.
Let's get pom-poms. And I'm going to get pom-poms. I'm going to go in the corner. I'm going to call Dad. Dagmar, I'm my own cheerleader. I'm here in the corner. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. No, I think that's an excellent point, Dagmar, that you make.
You have to be your biggest cheerleader sometimes. You got to be like, you got this, right? Once in a while, yeah. I mean, people can be like, you can do it, but you have to know inside yourself, I can do this.
I have the opposite. I'm like, do I want to feed my cats? Yes. So I do whatever it takes. No, really. I believe if you need to take care of your child, if you have animals, if you have goals, if you have dreams, and you do not have an option, you cannot treat this as a hobby, right? Yeah. Because somebody else gives you the money or feeds you or whatever.
Especially someone you, like a child or an animal, like you said.
There's no option. So you do whatever it takes.
It's go time.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm in the mood to do a podcast, if I'm in the mood to editing this video, if I'm in the mood to reaching out to people, it does not matter. So if I have to do it anyway, why wouldn't I want to do it happily?
Thank God she's editing, because I don't know anything about technology. I'm glad that came up, because
I'm exploring it.
She's exploring it. She's confident in it.
Yeah.
My least confident thing is technology. But buddy, what do you think about this duo? Are you excited for us? And
I like it a lot. Chloe is a very good energy. She's very positive. She's funny and sarcastic and loud, but she's all heart. And Dagmar's like a little sweet little cutie.
Those are compliments. Thank you. Those are compliments.
100%.
You kind of just describe yourself, but that's okay. Before we go, I want you to tell the story about, just don't get into the crazy details, about what happened when I came into the class that Jeanine used to hate me in college, because she was a hater. She was hating on me.
No, I cannot believe that. Jeanine loves everybody.
Not back then.
My dad had just died, and I was an angry little gremlin. Oh. Okay, so we're in class. Then all of a sudden she's in all my classes. She would come in, Dagmar, like 20 minutes late. Okay?
Few minutes late.
20 minutes late, interrupt the class. She'd be wearing like skirts and dresses. I'm wearing flannels and a hat, like I'm hungover, I'm like tired. And she'd be like, hey, like waving to people, walking through, talking to people, like, what's up, girl? Call me next week. I'm like, who is this girl? I can't. Then she was in all my classes, and I'm like, ah! So I went down to the bars one night.
No, buddy, you can't tell that part. No.
Oh, all right.
That's not for the viewers.
Anyway, I got to see who she really was. A down-to-earth, cool girl who sticks up for her friends. And I was like, that's my girl.
And then we only knew each other for 3 weeks, and we went to spring break in Jamaica. 3 weeks we were friends. We're like, we're doing this.
And then it's been, ever since.
It's been 150 years since.
That's beautiful.
Been through a lot together, seen a lot together, know everything about each other. Jeanine, we did this the other night. Jeanine came to Jamaica more than any of my friends ever in history. She was there the most. And she
had already your job?
What?
Yeah.
Had already your job?
But it was over the years. It wasn't like a multiple times.
Yeah. I get like 3 weeks vacation. So yes.
Yeah.
So
amazing.
Fun.
We're so happy you joined us this evening.
Thank you for having me.
Was fun.
I'm
glad. We have to do it again.
Yes.
Okay.
You're off the hook completely. You will be on again to discuss other topics.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining us this night, and I really appreciate it. If you would have one thing to share with our listeners, like a life wisdom, what would it be?
Don't sweat the small stuff.
Goodie but an oldie.
Good and oldie, and so true.
Excellent. Thank you for joining us, Jeanine Carrie Alexis Ward, on Problem Solve Her this evening.
Last one. I think the word Tom Hanks has said this. This too shall pass. Anything that happens,
all the time.
if you're getting all the money and you're getting all the kudos, this too shall pass. If you're down in the dumps, either way, if you're up or if you're low, it's gonna pass. And let it, just enjoy the moment.
Yes, and that's really totally true. That's beautiful.
We thank you for that, and we love you.
Yeah.
And thanks for joining Problem Solve Her.
Thank you guys so much.
God bless and good night.
God bless.
Good night, babe.
Good night.